People, we are Tottenham TV here, back again with another panel show for you guys, and what a beautiful day it is to be a Spurs fan today. Let me just cap off what has been going on today. Dragusin has rejected Bayern Munich for Tottenham Hotspur, and we've got him the Here We Go for Fabrizio Romano. Eric Dyer is in talks with Bayern Munich to for that deal to be basically going back ahead. Jed Spence is going the opposite way to Genoa. There's rumours about Maddison being back fully fit next week. We've already got Cuti Romero potentially back for the game against Man United. And to top it all off, we've got our last word on Spurs takeover of We Are Tottenham TV, the best till last. Ricky and Lee, absolute pleasure having you guys on. Ricky, it's been a while. Lovely to see you, mate. How are you doing?
Simba, man. You know what, it's been far too long, mate. Lovely to see your lovely face. Lovely to be on the show. Thank you so much. And, mate, you know what? The 10th of January might be my new favourite day. I do not want this day to end. Never let it stop.
What a beautiful day. Lee, lovely to have you on, mate. Obviously, you're not making your debut on the panel like Ricky, but always great to have you back, mate.
Top man, Sim. Thanks for being back on. Loving the content, mate. Loving everything you guys are doing. So, yeah, good to be here.
And obviously, returning regular, Brains is back on the panel as well. How are we doing, Brains? Brilliant day to be a Spurs fan today, right?
I'm still actually a little bit in shock, if I'm honest. Sam, I half expected to wake up and still see you on a screen being like, is he saying you? Is he saying you? You've actually dragged us in. You've got him. You got us. Like, you had a hunger strike. Every character. I can't let this lovely guy die.
Can I just say, Sim, this is what happens when you let last one on Spurs come in your... It all goes absolutely chaotic and things are happening, right? Things are moving. Come on.
It's incredible. Look, we'll start with you, Ricky. Look, obviously last night I went to bed thinking this is like he's off to Bayern. It's off. Like I thought there's no way Bayern have a deal agreed if he didn't get the go ahead from Dragusin that he's definitely off to Bayern. So to wake up this morning hearing in the news that he's rejected Bayern Munich, he is coming to Spurs, and hearing some of the quotes from the agent that I've been reading, apparently he's honoured an agreement that he's made earlier with Tottenham. He's not thinking about the money. Obviously, there's a lot of agent talk maybe to butter up the Spurs fans. But what was your reaction this morning hearing the Dragusin news?
Well, given by the fact, I'm sure the same as you, Sim, we've done hours upon hours of just trying to get the bloody game, the guy's name right, for God's sake. It's taken me 2 days to work out how to say the guy's name. Dragusin. I'm told it's Dragusin. Look, I think it's really good news for Spurs that, of course, we've got what appears to be Ange's prime centre-back target. It's the man he's wanted. It's the man he's targeted all window. And I do feel quite a little bit bad because on our show last night and last one on Spurs, there I was for about an hour battering the guy over loyalty, saying, look, if his head's being turned by Bayern Munich, go elsewhere, go and find somebody else. But look, the clear key indicator here is Ange knew the profile, knew the character. The guy looks to have his heart set on Spurs, despite the agent who's not stopped waffling since the 1st of January. It's obviously great that we've got this man over the line. It appears, like I say, to be Ange's number one target. If Ange's happy, I'm happy. And I'm sure Maka will want to expand on that as well.
Yeah, go on, Lee. I mean, this does seem to be Ange's number one target going into this window. It does seem to be the first, target we really went hard for in terms of centre back. There was rumours about Tadiba and all these other guys, but this was clearly the one we really wanted, and it would have been absolutely gutting to have it stolen from us at the last minute. So it's absolutely crucial that we've got this one over the line, right?
Well, it's huge, and I think with some of the stats that he's got, he's played every minute of every game so far in Serie A. 6'3", pace, front foot, he's aggressive. This is exactly an Ange probably player. I think you're absolutely bang on. He's definitely his number one target. I just think we're just massive. We're just massive. How are we beating Bayern Munich?
Maka, wait till he's got the shirt. Maka, wait till the shirt. Wait till he's got the shirt. Hold up. Wait for the shirt.
Exactly. This is the same club that took our star striker. They're now taking Dyer as playing in the green room for money, which is absolutely incredible. And we've taken Dragusin. It's brilliant, isn't it? What a day.
Unbelievable day. Brains. We actually now, with Dragusin, if it gets over the line, which, hopefully it bloody well has to at this point. But if Dragusin gets over the line, all of a sudden, you look at our centre-back options, and we're starting to look very healthy in that department, with rumours as well that Romero might be back fit sooner than expected. Like all the panic, there's so much panic about centre backs and defences and everything, but all of a sudden, we've got Van der Ven back fit, Romero hopefully back fit soon, with Dragusin through the door, Ben Davies performing quite well. Seems quite positive all of a sudden.
Yeah, it is, but it was always that thing of we still needed the guy. We needed Dragusin, and you like people were saying, don't worry about it. Like, and I was kind of looking like, what happens if we don't get Dragusin? Can we have VDV with Emerson if Romero is it? But it's been our luck this season that Romero and VDV will start United, and then something will happen. Romero gets sent off. VDV kind of relapses with the injury, and then where are we at? And it's like this is like unprecedented for us that we actually have a little bit of depth, and that the first person coming in if there's an injury isn't one of the worst players on the planet. So it's kind of like, do you know what I mean? It's like, thank God that one of the worst defenders on the planet is now going to spend his time warming the bench at Bayern Munich. So I'm feeling very good about this.
I somehow don't think Brains wants Eric Dyer back anytime soon. Am I right in saying that, bro?
You are correct. And did Genoa actually take Spence? Because that's also like...
Yeah, they've actually taken Spence, and we're paying all of Spence's wages. We're paying Spence to go to Genoa basically at the moment. That's the deal.
Yeah, because we're rich, obviously. Because Spurs have loads of money right?
You know what though? That might be a very good move for Spence, with no disrespect, because ultimately the guy I think needs a complete change of climate, change of scenery. I think for Spence that could actually work out for a benefit for him. I mean, again, there'll be many saying, "Oh, why are Spurs covering the wages?" Look, at the end of the day, I'm sure for the player, his first choice wasn't to have gone to Genoa, and I mean, all due respect. So the reality is, look, I think done the deal that ultimately is the most important thing, is that Radu Dragusin is going to be a Spurs player, and out of all that, however we needed to do the deal and negotiate and structure it, Spurs have made it happen. And look, I've been very much an advocate of pretty much every window under ENIC. For me, I've gone into it and come out of it always feeling that we're a couple short. I can't believe I'm saying this, and again, there'll be Levy apologies all over me now for saying this. We're the 10th of January, and I don't go too early here. If Spurs end this window, in my opinion, with, of course, Werner, Dragusin, and they get a creative midfielder, this will be the first time, I think, in my long history of absolutely loving and supporting this football club under ENIC, that I can say, do you know what, we've actually got the players that we needed. And it's not often I've ever said that. And I think, again, that is real testament to Ange Postecoglou and the work this man is doing behind the scenes to not only convince the board, but I think also convince the players over the style of play that regardless when we've had 5 or 6 players out, this team have always found a way to not only stay in games, but go and win them. So I honestly believe at the moment we're witnessing a newfound Tottenham, and there is a new negotiating team there, as we know, like to Scott Munn, of course, Johan Langer there as well. I can't see anything but real positives at the moment, and I just want to bookmark this day and not wake up.
It's been an unbelievable day. And that's a great point, isn't it, Lee, about maybe the ownership, deserving some praise in this deal. They did come under fire, over the last few days about, haggling over a few million and obviously letting this deal, pardon the pun, drag on. There are reports that last night buying up their bid, and then Spurs, in response to buying up their bid, did improve their offer, and that has got this deal over the line. So have the ownership put their money where their mouth is in this deal?
You'd like to hope so. I'm not sure this is going to be full-on change for the foreseeable, for the future. Who knows? I mean, I did it was a cheeky tongue-in-cheek tweet out earlier of Ryan Nelson and Louis Saha signing 12 years ago. And is it the same old stuff, or is this generally different? I mean, dragging on Usin, as you just related to. We're talking about a signing that's been dragging on, and it's only the 10th of January. So that's obviously got to be a positive. I think that Ange Postecoglou is just a pull, isn't he? Right? There's always reports of he's ringing up these players, and that the whole quote about Maddison saying, "Look, whether you join us or not, I'm transforming this football club. So do you want to be a part of it or not?" And it was like, "Yeah, I'm coming." And maybe that's what he's been doing. Maybe Dragusin was always going to come to Tottenham, but when Bayern come in for him, you just don't know. But what I love about it, and Brains mentioned it before, and we mentioned on the show a minute ago, is that now we're actually getting a fee for Eric Dyer. That extra money that we've actually put into the Dragusin deal is actually being paid for by Bayern. I mean, you could not make this up.
Yeah, look, from what that club did to us last summer with the Kane situation, when they terrorised us, we've got a bit of karma there, haven't we? We owe the right to have a little bit now of graciousness about it. And you know what? Again, mate, honestly, do you know what? Can I just say I know, with all the respect, for Eric Dyer, for him, in a bizarre way, it's not often you think for a player of where he is at in his career that you could actually get a step upwards. And I mean that with the most due respect. He's got a Bayern Munich move there where he could go on and arguably win a title. He's going to play with Harry Kane. I do think it's ironic, and I have said this on Last One on Spurs, that one of Kane's biggest contributions come after he leaves the bloody football club, in which he gets Eric Dyer removed. I mean, you just can't make it up.
It's incredible. I just want to touch on what Lee was saying before about the Ange pull. I feel like Ange has his own gravitational pull. You get a bit too close and he just pulls you in. It sucks you in and you can't get away from it. And that Ange pull seems to be something that's been quite significant since he's joined the club. Brains, like, Ange seems to have a way with players, doesn't he? Every player is mentioned. That conversation with Ange has been a big convincer. You take your mind, cast your mind back to Maddison, in the summer, saying when he spoke to Ange, he had interest from the likes of Newcastle, who are doing very well, maybe offering a bit more money or whatever. And Ange told him, look, if you come or not, you're going to see a different Tottenham this season, and he really got convinced by that. And Dragusin and Werner as well, mentioning Ange Postecoglou, that conversation he had with him, being a big convincer. And it seems as though Dragusin is as well I wouldn't say being a victim, but he's been, I guess, been a victim of that Ange gravitational pull.
Like I say, Ange really just drags you in. But no, one of the funnest moments of this whole saga, which it's only a short little saga, it's not exactly the Poro situation, but was the agent. Now that agent, this all seemed to me to be him. I didn't really buy the ups and the downs and the swings, because the UK journals and just the journals in the know were kind of very stum about it. You know what I mean? And then, but it was just constantly, you could see it was like the Italian, German journals that were really pushing Bayern's in there, Bayern's leading, Spurs are going to drop this. It's all the negative stuff was coming that way to kind of, I guess, I don't even think it was really Genoa, really. I think it was a case of him just trying to get his agent fee up. But I absolutely loved, and I'm not sure 100% if it is a direct quote, but him saying that, I can't believe we turned down Bayern. You can see he's so butthurt. He's like, Radu's basically crazy. He must have bumped his head. All of a sudden, I'm thinking we're going to Bayern. I'm getting this massive agent fee. Then he speaks to Ange Postecoglou, and now he's a Spurs player. The world's ended. I quit.
You know what, Brains? Look, on that point of the agent, I'm not gonna lie. Look, we've seen, obviously, all of us with Spurs, a lot of mouthy agents in our time of players. I'm not gonna lie, that is a little bit of a concern to me in the future. I can't get away from that. The way this agent has displayed himself in the course of the last 10, 11 days does slightly worry me. And again, we're bringing a player in here that we might come into some more detail that arguably will have to fight for his place. There's no guaranteed starter in an Ange side. We know, of course, he's had that discussion to say you'll be featuring fairly regularly. But I don't think it's a good thing you've got an agent there that is continually mouthing off with no real sense of control, if I'm being honest with you. I'm not sure how much the player is really favouring his agent coming out saying, I'm in disbelief, should have got the Bayern. The bloke is now going to be a Spurs player. You want to have that player having an agent there that's going to really champion the move, want to be behind the move. And I just think he needs to partner now and leave it. The reality is he's going to be playing in the Premier League. It's the best league in the world. Arguably, in relation to Tottenham, it's a club that are always consistently in the Champions League or in and around those places. So I think in general now the agent needs to be on the move of Tottenham, be behind it, support the player, support the football club. And ultimately, look, it's a great move for the footballer. It's a great move for the footballer. Premier League football, Tottenham Hotspur, a massive football club.
Ricky, look, what the agent in that situation, a professional agent goes, look, it was brilliant negotiation. Yep. It speaks to how good Radu is. All positives. And he should have said, but in all honesty, he always was going to be he's decided. You know what I mean? There's something positive that reflects on the club that you are now with, not I can't believe we turned down Bayern. Throw your toys. It's so unbelievable.
But he also says maybe in the future we will go there, kind of hinting at. Does he? That is a worry. Does he see?
He's not even playing. He's not even over the shirt up yet. He's not even signed them. He's got
I hope he doesn't see Tottenham as a stepping stone. He really sees Tottenham as somewhere he can really, forge a future and actually like be here for a long time, win things. That's what I'm hoping. Dragusin looks like. But to be fair, it does seem to be this is Radu's decision. It does seem to be he's kind of put his foot down and say, look, this is what's best for me. I feel this is best mind development. I've weighed up both offers. It seems to me he's pushing for this. So in terms of like what I remember there was a lot of debate in the summer about wanting players who really want to be here. I think it was the deal with Vicario. We were looking at Raya and Vicario, and Ange kind of decided Raya was only looking to come to Spurs because he wanted to leave Brentford rather than Vicario, who actually really wanted to come here. So when you're looking at this deal with Radu, and it looks like his decision, does that lean you towards Radu? Do you really want to be at Spurs, or does his agent's comments worry you? I'll go to Lee with that one.
Yeah. I agree. I think that's really important. Ange's come out and said a few times, hasn't he, that he needs to have that kind of character, the right character in the dressing room, the right characters. I'm hugely big on this. The behaviours around players, mentality is huge. You can have all the technical ability in the world, but if you're going to get your toys out of your player maybe 5-6 seconds, it's not going to get the dressing room. So I do think that's really important. His agent might be a bit, it might be causing problems, but once the deal's done, I'm sure he's going to get a lovely payout off the back of it. He's got 2 years at Spurs. By that point, he might not even be his agent anymore. Bates might take him over. So, I think it's important. I think what's really interesting to me is that this guy's 21, another 21-year-old, big him up like he's the best thing ever. And I'm sure he's really good. And statistics look good, and he's perfect for Andrew. He's only 21. His ceiling is massive. Van der Ven, 22. Doggy, 20. Sarr just turned 21. It's craziness what's happening. And we've gone from an era of absolutely needing champion players. We must have experience. They must be 29, 30, 31. Now we're buying really young players, young talent that Ange and the team are looking at, and it's the future's Lily White.
Can I just check? Is Lee on the runway there with him? With Dragusin?
When you left Lee and then came back and it was better, and now it's gone back to being a bit echoey again. I'm not.
I think I've got 2 streams. Sorry, everybody.
It's all right. He did seem to fix it, but we'll go. But Ricky, in terms of what Lee was saying about, Dragusin is a very young defender, 21 years of age. We've seen obviously Van der Ven come in at 22, hit the ground running, and been exceptional since the start of the season. But what can we expect? What do you think we can expect from Dragusin? Do you think we should expect him to come in and straight away be like Van der Ven in a way, and have an instant impact, and when he does play, be at a high level, or should we be a bit more patient with Dragusin?
Well, look, I think for any player coming from overseas, they need to be given a period of adjustment and time. And there's no doubt about it. Look, it's not ideal to come in mid-season. I think anyone would say that when you're working under Postecoglou, you'd ideally like a pre-season under him, because you've seen the likes of the way Pedro Porro shone, I would say, since the start of the season, because he's had that pre-season under Ange. And therefore, I do feel that, look, I know expectations are really, really high when Spurs do sign players from overseas and they come at a premium price and everyone's really excited. And look, I'm not trying to dampen down expectations, but what I would say is that for any player coming overseas into a really, really tough league, a physical league, one that is so demanding, we've got to give the guy time, right? I think we've all been crying out for such a long time to have adequate backup or adequate alternatives in defence, and Spurs are slowly getting there now. They really genuinely are. To have this player coming in that, look, I'll be honest with you, I've watched a number of his YouTube compilations. That's all what I can really go on in terms of what I've seen of his profile so far. He looks like a player that, with all honesty, has got a sense of discipline about him. I'm sure we'll change that very quickly. But honestly, you know what? He's very composed. He's aggressive in a good way, commanding of the ball, dominant in the air, fairly rapid over a short period of burst, which is what really Ange needs in that side. And look, there's no reason to not be excited. All I'm just saying is, for me personally, is look, it's mid-season. A player's coming into a difficult, demanding league. Please give him time. Please give him time. Don't expect the earth. Don't expect the world. We'd like to think he's an upgrade on Eric Dyer. We'd like to think that. But again, at the same time, he is just coming into the building, given that period of adjustment. But of course, look, we should be excited. He looks a really good prospect. Like
he's
Lee
not
said
a Van der Ven,
there,
though, right? In terms of pace, guys.
No.
You know,
No.
and viewers, he's not.
Not
and,
many
you know,
are, Lee. Not many are.
No, Van der Ven's in a world of his own
that's true.
when in that front.
Spot on, mate. Spot on. Not many people are, but I mean, 7 key passes, 2 goals, 1 assist this season for Dragusin. 32 recovered balls, and I think that's really important. We're playing that high line. He's got to go back and get them recoveries, and he's doing that. 18 tackles, which I thought was quite limited, actually. Consider it means that you know, he's probably doing some good stuff in terms of his positioning rather than needing to do direct tackles, which is always good. 3 clean sheets, but like I said earlier, 6'3". You know, he's got a massive ceiling, hasn't he, lads? In terms of where he go, 21 years old, it's very exciting. Very exciting.